be a hot subject, V, because like, child, these last couple of chapters, it was a lot. You hear me? It was a lot.
Ooh. I should just leave that as the intro of the episode. That's getting left in. Hi, everyone. Welcome to the Play Choices Podcast, the podcast you hear. I'm your host, V.
Hi, I'm the co-host, Lucas.
As Lucas said, y'all, I feel like we can't begin this episode without saying it's the end of an era for us.
It is.
I know we still have the Nanny Affair Book 2, but the plot of the Nanny Affair Book 1, I mean, it gets wrapped up, right? We see a wrap up by the end of chapter 20, and obviously, Book 2 is going to be messy because that's what the Nanny Affair is for, but it's the end of this particular messiness, and so I do want to take the time to thank Pixelberry for writing such horrendous characters.
Yep.
They're both great and horrible at the same time, and I don't know how you managed to accomplish that, but it is a feat, and I'm going to do a little brief applause for you.
This book very much feels like a guilty pleasure.
Oh, absolutely. I think the people who like the Nanny Affair, unironically know that it's bad. Right. But it's so bad it's good.
Right.
You know?
Right.
Like we said in the last episode, like, it's good because of how messy it is.
And honestly, I kind of like you said, this really like hones in on the messiness, but I love not liking the main character in a particular story.
Oh, it's amazing.
I love it.
It's because there's enough about Anna to sympathize with, but there's also enough to like be like, you stupid dumb bitch.
And we gonna get into it. Get into it.
Yeah. We're gonna spend this episode discussing chapters 18 through 20 of the Nanny Affair Book 1. This episode is not spoiler safe, so if you want to avoid spoilers for the Nanny Affair Book 1 in its entirety, because bitch, we're finished, please go read that book first, and then we'll be here for you to come back and listen. Also, we have to put a content warning here. It's the Nanny Affair. It has a 17+ age rating on the app. This book does contain themes of an adult nature, specifically sexual content. So if that makes you uncomfortable, or if you are a minor and should not be listening to this content anyways, please join us on another episode where we aren't discussing such mature themes. Are you ready to just jump into it? Let's just do it. Okay, so the Nanny Affair Book 1, Chapter 18 is titled The Accident. As a reminder, the default MC's name is Anna. And the chapter summary for Chapter 18 is, the big day is approaching fast. Will you let Sofia's manipulations send you over the edge? Oh, I'm almost hesitant to even start my notes, bitch, because this is... Damn. We're really about to finish this bitch. Okay, let's do it.
Our first book.
Uh-huh. All right, so the chapter opens a week after Sofia asks Anna to be her maid of honor. Anna is shopping with Sofia for the wedding, and Sam is shopping with Robin separately, also for the wedding. So during the scene, Sam will text Anna, updating her on their shopping trip, and Anna will suggest that they send each other nudes, which I was highly annoyed by, because literally, what was it, chapter 14? We talk about ending the damn affair,
yes.
And then
Yep.
And then Anna's like, oh, why don't we just, like, send each other, like, I'll just send you a photo with my pussy lips spread open. Mm-hmm. Do you want that? And I'm just like, why even have the choice of ending the... That's what makes me mad. Why even include the choice of being like, oh, babe, we should end the affair if this is what you're going to code her to say?
And even later on, like, she literally says, like, oh, it's over. And then, like, two taps away is just something completely different. And I'm like, I'm so sick of y'all.
So annoying. And it's like, I get it that I don't think Anna's character was designed to be super likable, right? I feel like a lot of Anna's, like, behavior is designed to not necessarily be motivated for Anna, but to be motivated in response to Sam and Sofia. Like, I don't know if anyone is, like, really like, oh, I really care about what happens in Anna's life. I think most people are just like, I find Sam hot and Sophia's a fucking bitch.
Yes, literally.
So it's not like I'm sitting here thinking like, oh my god, like, I really want to help Anna out. But it is annoying how they try to write this, like, it's like, I feel like the writers were like, maybe we should attempt to write two different Annas. And then they were just like, actually, we can't make any money off of the Anna that doesn't want to fuck.
Literally. They're like, oh, there goes our diamond scenes, and I'm like, oh my god.
Yeah, because sex is the only thing that this book has to offer, and it's the single LI book. And they could have, like we talked about in our last episode, they could have went a different direction, give us some Robin, but they decided not to do that because it was advertised as a single LI book. So inevitably, they just end up writing a major contradiction for the MC, which is very, very annoying. So it's the 16 diamond scene to sneak off and away from Sophia. Did you take it?
Hell no. I watched it. It was hot, but I was like, no, I'm not taking this because, like, first of all, I can't even really have you, and
Mm-hmm.
secondly, I can't even have you in person. Now I'm subjected to have you through the phone. No, hell no, no.
Yeah,
Mm-mm.
yeah. No, 16 diamonds for send me a picture of your tits. Like, I just, not necessarily what I'm willing to spend my diamonds on at this point. I will say, let's just briefly talk through what happened. So,
Mm-hmm.
if you do take the scene, Anna and Sam will exchange some nudes, and Anna has the option to take a video of herself masturbating and send it. Here's my comments. In book one, I'm playing a black male Sam. I
Mm-hmm.
got the art for like a Hispanic male Sam. So again, I'm not sure if it's a coding issue or if they just genuinely didn't make any art for my Sam, but like choices do better, please.
Yeah.
The scene also, I didn't find it really particularly sexy. And here's my issue. This is a quip against choices sex writing, but it's also just a quip against sexting in general. I just have a hard time finding sexting arousing because oftentimes the sex scene feels like poorly written fan fiction to me. Like there's a part where Sam is like talking about what they're thinking about while they're masturbating, and it bought now I don't know if this changes based off of the gender. So again, like I said, I play a male Sam, and male Sam texted me and he was like, I'm imagining your hips bucking wildly against mine. And I was like, no one talks like that in real life.
Yeah. No. No.
No, no. So like that single line within itself was enough to just like truly take me out of the scene. Like it was awful. So definitely a waste of diamonds in my opinion. If you're going to fuck Sam, let's spend diamonds actually fucking.
Exactly, and that's all I'm saying. Like that's all I'm saying. Because let's be honest, when it comes to most sexual scenes that involve Sam,
Mm-hmm.
they are less than 30 diamonds. Like they do kind of bargain with you about that.
Right.
Um, but this in itself, like I'm not in person with him. I have no interest. Like I just
Yeah.
don't. No, no, no. Like the other time, he came to pick me up. He came to save me from Sophia.
Mm-hmm.
And now it's just like, oh, let me send you a picture of my abs to see if you get turned on. Like, no, I'm not. No,
And we
no.
sent him a whole video masturbating, and that's the most we get from Sam?
Mm-mm. I was like, this is
No.
no distasteful.
No. You know what's
Distasteful.
bad? You know what's bad? We're reading the Nanny Affair and we call it distasteful.
Yes, like the concept is hot, but like you said, like the writing, the execution,
Right.
just just the setting. Like, oh, I'm literally with your fiance who you're about to marry in a couple days, but I'm gonna leave my duty to go bust a nut and film it and send it to you. Like, it's
Yeah.
so much.
Yeah. Yeah. No. It's not a scene that I think is worth spending diamonds on out of all of the sex scenes we've gotten so far. So later that night, Anna is still with Sophia. Sophia will let Anna go home early since they have a busy agenda for the day after. In the cab on the way home, the driver crashes into a tree. And then the scene will pick up at the hospital where Sam is already there when Anna wakes up. So Sam starts to get emotional, and Sophia will come in. Sophia starts to express some sadness at seeing Anna in the hospital. Anna will tell her she can stop faking her emotions because obviously their interactions over the past couple weeks would not lead Anna to believe that Sophia actually cares about her. But Sophia will just assert to Anna that she's actually being genuine before comparing their conflict to a sibling rivalry and revealing that she actually ended her affair because she wants to be a good wife to Sam. Um, So, I mean, obviously we have more things to cover in this episode, but just overall, like, how do you feel about Sofia's speech, her declaration of, empathy or sympathy for Anna, and her newfound dedication to Sam?
Here's the thing. Newfound dedication, right?
Hmm.
I was like, probably not there. But I'm willing to give you a shot, right?
Hmm.
Like you said, you called the affair off. You
Hmm.
gave me a deadline. That deadline is literally right around the corner. There is, from what I see at this point, no future with me and Sam. So by
Hmm.
all means, like if you tell me you're gonna be a good person, if you're kind of like, oh, I'm serious about Sam, I'm serious about the kids,
Hmm.
like it's all water under the bridge. Like let's just try to make the most of this situation and like do better, all of us. Okay, we'll see. Do I believe you? Not really, but like
No,
actions speak louder than words, and we will see, Sophia.
here's how I feel. I don't really give a shit what Sophia's promises are because, like, how does that impact my ability to get involved whatsoever? Is that supposed to make me feel better?
Right.
You're gonna be a good wife to him? Why
Right.
do I
Like,
care? Like, just admit that you're saying that shit for your own benefit and like leave me alone. Because like at this point, we have no indication that like you said, we have no indication of future to Sam's. Like, I don't give a shit. I genuinely don't care if you're genuinely upset. And we learn some details later on where like it does kind of convince you that Sophia actually like did feel some concern for
right.
Anna. But it's just like I don't really care if you've made this newfound promise to yourself because whether you're going to be a good or bad wife to Sam, how does that change my life?
And also, in the same breath, like, you kind of have to, like, be somewhat okay with me, Sophia, because, like, we both know if it really came down to it, like, let me not say that. I was about to say if it came down to it, he would choose Anna over Sophia.
Hmm.
But like, I don't know, maybe not. I don't know if it really came out to like a all. I mean, like, obviously there's more things to discuss, but in this
Hmm.
particular moment, if she was like, no, 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 like this is it. Like, I'm gonna be, a good wife. You have to quit working here. I don't think Sam would let that happen.
Yeah, I feel like it's hard to comment on that hypothetical if
Yes,
we don't
right,
really
right.
get
That's why
to
I had
see
to,
it
I had to
play out.
retract.
Yeah, I don't
Mhm.
know. I don't know. I mean, I know that there was the one scene where she tried to assert. There was one scene earlier where she tried to assert that Anna should get fired, but I don't know.
That was like way before a whole lot of shit.
That was way before. That was a lot of shit. That was a lot of shit. I mean, Sam was willing to go to the point where they were honest with Anna about not being able to continue the relationship because of the children. So like I think the answer varies depending on when you're putting this hypothetical situation.
Right, right, right.
Okay, before we get on with the rest of the chapter, let me interrupt with some plugs. So you can leave us a voice message at anchor.fm/play-choices-podcast/message. It could show up in a future episode. You can also directly support this podcast at anchor.fm/play-choices-podcast/support. If we haven't convinced you yet, listen to this amazing, amazing commercial that Lucas and I put together for you. It
In
takes
the
me
arms
hours.
of an angel.
It takes me, no, keep singing. It takes me
I
hours to record. No, keep doing it.
Here
It takes me
are
hours to record and edit this podcast.
wherever you
And
are.
with your donation
I believe
of
that
$1 a
my
month
heart will
could save V from
go
smashing her fucking head into
on.
a wall.
Why does the heart
Thank you
go?
so much. And back to our episode. So the boys will run into the room and run into Anna's arms while Sophia and Sam go speak to the doctors. So the boys will say that Sophia yelled at the doctors until they allowed them to go see Anna. So the group will leave, but Sam will linger behind, clearly, just not happy to have to leave Anna. So there is a 19 diamond scene to ask Sam to stay with you in the hospital. Did you take it?
I'm a self-inserter. Okay, I took it
Mm-hmm.
because I knew if I had gotten into some car accident and the man that I love was like, "Hey, I can stay with you if you really want me to," I know I would just crumble and be like, "Yeah, come lay in this hard ass hospital bed with me."
I just can't believe that you have to pay 19 diamonds for Sam to like stay with you.
Right, but 16 to get some dumbass fucking. Sexting
just
plot.
can't. I just can't. You're trying to convince me of this affair, and like I have to. You're trying to convince me that this character loves me enough to inevitably, and this is skipping ahead, but inevitably leave Sophia for me, and like I have to pay for this.
Y'all make this single Li hard. Y'all make it hard out
These
here.
last chapters are rough, man. They're rough. The diamond scenes, the
Yep.
prices, they're
Yep.
questionable.
Yep.
They're starting to get real questionable. I didn't take it on my first playthrough, but of course, let's talk about what happens.
Right.
So Sam will will Anna out of the room, taking her to a garden in the hospital. I would say it's a fairly emotional scene. The two of them start confessing their feelings for each other in the aftermath of the accident. Sam is clearly reliving their feelings from losing their first wife.
Mm-hmm.
So that definitely comes into play in the conversation. For some reason, this is also like a sex scene, which like after a car accident when we could have had a concussion is like a bit ridiculous. But when has the nanny affair been realistic? I'm gonna let it go. That to me, that's the least of the issues of this scene.
Right. We digress.
Yeah, we're just gonna go ahead and skip past the eating out her coochie part. We're gonna move past that. So the night after being discharged from the hospital after the diamond scene, Sam will tell Anna that they want to break up with Sophia. Dun dun dun. We're here. What we've been waiting for the entire fucking book.
Right.
Move on to chapter 19 titled The Breakup. So the chapter summary is your deepest, darkest desires are finally coming true, but nothing is as simple as it seems. So after Sam's confession, Anna will come up with a lot of reasons why their relationship won't work. Bitch is basically me.
Yes.
If you're someone with commitment issues, raise your hand. This scene is calling you out. So Sam will say that it doesn't matter. They'll figure whatever issues they need to figure out to be together, and that Sam has realized that after the accident that their relationship is their priority. Anna will start to indulge in the fantasy, but then she overhears Sophia playing with the boys outside of the room and immediately feels guilty for trying to break them up, and Anna comes to the decision to end their relationship for the good. How did you feel about this?
I said about time, really.
Uh,
I was like, yeah, no.
I tried in chapter 14.
Yeah, I said about time. Like, really, though, like, about time.
Yeah,
There's
no.
just so many, like, guys, we've beat this horse to death, so we really don't have to get into it. But it's just like him theoretically choosing his children's future for me. Like, it's just so much that, like, I would not be okay with. Like, I just
Yeah.
would not. Like, I don't know. Like, and like, Sam is not even
Mhm.
in a sound state of mind. Sam got that whole, like, oh my God, I almost just lost you post issue going on.
Yeah.
Not thinking clearly. No, you just scared to lose me. That's it. And losing me and like authentically choosing me, that's two different things. That's two different
Yeah, that's the
things.
other thing. You have to question yourself, like, if I didn't almost die, would we even be here? I
Right.
mean, I don't know. I kind of go back and forth with that because, like, when it comes to like, there are certain things like when you're like, oh, if I didn't do this, would I even be here? Where I'm like, who cares? This it there we aren't living in the if, we're living in the what happened. So I feel like I kind of go back and forth with that kind of logic, but I mean, either way, y'all know how I was pretty much done with this romance by that point. I was like, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Let me
Mm-hmm.
go back to Jenny. There's no one else to go back to.
Right, right, right.
So there is a 20 diamond scene hookup with Sam one last time. Did you take it?
Hell no, because I said if you done, you done, bitch.
If we're done, we're done.
If you
And I'm
done,
tired of
you
spending
done.
diamonds on this man's penis. So it's pretty much just porn. I will say the ending is a little bit more bittersweet. Anna will ask Sam to kiss one more time before ending it with them. So Sam is clearly surprised by Anna's decision and will declare that she's the love of their life. Anna can either say it back or tell Sam that they don't love her. Anna will get angry, saying that Sam is throwing their life away for the nanny.
Right.
And Sam will tell her that neither of those things are true.
But
Anna
it
will say that she
is.
doesn't want Sam. And this is when Sam will leave the room. How would you feel about this scene?
I it's funny because I know Anna was only saying things that, weren't like necessarily 100% true, but they had truth to
Mm-hmm.
it, you know? Like
Right.
it had truth to it. Like
It's basically what other people outside of their relationship would say.
exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly. And this
Yeah.
isn't like other people like, a friend or even a family member. No, no, no. You're a CEO of like one of the biggest tech companies. And so a
Yeah.
lot of people are going to have a lot to say.
A
And
very public relationship.
we don't have time for that. I don't know if we have time for that right now.
No. I don't have I would not be signing up for this, to be honest, if I were her.
No.
Like, I
No.
would be like, this is gonna end. And again, like, how do I neatly say this? I don't know if at this point I have seen enough scenes between Anna and Sam to think that they're actually in love with each other. I think they're in lust. I think they're in like. But, like, do I think they're in love? Do I believe Sam when they say that Anna's the love of their life? No. No.
Here's the thing. If this car accident happened earlier and the scenes progressively got more like, maybe like Sam mentions in it, in later chapters,
Right.
like, that was one of the scariest moments of my life. Sure. But it just
Mhm.
happened. Like I said, there's a lot of emotions in the air. We're going towards the end of the book. So to say there has been no really like love moments.
There's
If
been
that was the
two that I can
case,
think of. There's been two. There was the scene when you were right before you meet the parents and you go and you comfort Sam outside of whatever
yes,
restaurant or
yes,
golf
that
resort
was a
they were
good
at,
one. Yeah.
and then the picnic one. Those are the only two things that I can think of that were love scenes. Other than that, it's all been sexual or arguments.
Exactly. Like I picked the hospital scene thinking it was gonna be romantic. He eating my coochie out. I don't want that. That's not
Right.
what
Like,
I no.
the other type of scenes have been sex, arguments, or they've been them like basically negging each other about not being able to get married.
Right.
Those
Or
are the
being
three things that we
sexual around
find.
the children, which is not love. Like that is
No.
lust. If you
But like,
cannot keep it in your pants long enough to have a good time with like children who you say mean the world to you, Anna
yeah.
and Sam, then
Hmm.
I mean, come on.
Yeah, I'm just not in general really like convinced. Here's what I think is happening. I think they like each other, but it has to get conflated to that level of intensity because Sam is in an arranged marriage basically.
Right.
And
Right.
so it's like, if you're going to leave an arranged marriage that has your children their children's future on the line, like, you better say you're in love with someone in order to make that make sense to anyone else.
Exactly. Exactly.
But, like, do I actually think they're in love? No, not at all. So the next evening, I love how just cut through their relationship, knife in the fucking heart in the relationship. Let's move on. The next evening is the rehearsal dinner. Robin will ask Anna if it's bittersweet for her and says that they're glad that Anna came to her senses because she has to give a toast since, she is now Sophia's maid of honor. So Anna will give a very clumsy speech and then resign herself to the back of the room. Sam will find Anna and convince her to dance, and while they're dancing, Sam will offer to end it with Sophia again. Anna, as again still trying to push Sam away, will quit dancing before running to the bathroom away from Sam. Oh boy. In the bathroom,
Mhm.
Anna runs
Mhm.
into Sophia and Robin, who are very clearly in the middle of hooking up in a very public restroom, literally on the sink.
Anna is a good one. She a good one. I would have whipped everybody ass in that damn bathroom. I do not care. I don't care. I would have whipped. Hands would have been everywhere. Special. Robin has the audacity 2 seconds ago to be like, "Oh well, I'm glad you're doing the right thing."
Mhm.
Excuse me.
Mhm.
We're not
Mhm.
even talking about Sophia because we know Sophia is a lying bitch. We're not even talking about her. We will deal with her later. Robin, are you kidding me? When I tell you I took the screenshot of their faces, it's in my camera roll. It might just sit there. It really might because first of all, my speculation was right.
Uh-huh.
I was like, oh,
Yeah.
it would be juicy if it was Robin.
Uh-huh.
That did not take the shock away. Still, and it wasn't the shock of them hooking up. It really wasn't. It was just the audacity of both these characters.
Right. 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 I remember the first time I played that book, I was really caught in left field. Everyone else was like, "Oh, I fucking knew it." And I was like, "Bitch, I did it." I said, "Where did y'all piece this together?"
And here's the thing. I'm gonna make this point again when the conversations come out when Sophia start being bitching a
Mhm.
little bit, but
Mhm.
I'm like, damn, y'all just as messy as us. Y'all is
No,
just
truly
as
doing the
messy.
same motherfucking thing, doing the same motherfucking thing.
I said, how does it feel that we both was probably sneaking out at the same event getting some?
Pretty much. Oh, well, now we know Sophia and Robin are dirty little sluts,
Mm-hmm.
just like us.
Mm-hmm.
We're all dirty little
Mm-hmm.
whores in the same club. Before we continue with the rest of the episode, I do want to remind everyone that if you have any questions, theories, or comments that you would like to be included in a future episode, please email us at playchoicespodcast@gmail.com. Make sure to specify whether you want to be shouted out or not, otherwise all emails will be anonymous. Questions can be related to books we've recorded episodes on, books that we haven't discussed yet, or even questions that you'd like to ask us. Alternatively, you can go to our Ask box on playchoicespodcast.tumblr.com and submit a question. Just specify that it's for the podcast and we'll be sure to include it. And back to our episode. So Anna is obviously angry because, one, Sofia lied to her about the affair and also threatens to tell Sam in the room. Robin will try to reason with her, but Anna is just pissed, again, like you said, at Robin's hypocrisy. So they start arguing, and meanwhile, Sofia slips out of the room while they're yelling at each other. So when they actually catch up to Sofia, she grabs the mic of the event and angrily announces that Sam and Anna are having an affair to the entire room.
I said, bitch. I said the audacity again.
Sofia literally said, I didn't have it in myself to go with Grace so the battleships will sink beneath the waves. This bitch took everyone down.
I was literally like, I know she didn't. I know she didn't.
Yes, she did, sweetheart. Yes, she did.
And then the options they gave Anna, you can choose between a passive option or be like, well, you fucking Robin, you best believe. I was like, oh no, bitch.
Absolutely. So let's just go ahead and skip to chapter 20 then.
Right.
So chapter 20 is titled The Wedding Day. Chapter summary says, everyone has gathered here to celebrate the wedding of the century. Will you speak now or forever hold your peace? So, like Lucas referred to, the scene does pick up immediately from Sofia's reveal, and everyone begins arguing with each other, throwing basically all these accusations around the room. I mean, Robin yelling at Sam yelling at Sofia, Anna yelling at Sofia, Anna yelling at Robin. Like, they just being messy in public just for everyone to behold. Like, it's just ridiculous.
It's a wash. Like, what we did is a wash. Like, everyone...
Y'all all suck. I get it. We're all the Spider-Man meme pointing at each other. We get it. Like, we all fucking suck. All of us are sluts. We all cheated on each other.
Right.
Y'all are all doing the same thing. Y'all are all messy. Y'all just arguing just to save face. And all y'all look bad. Like, fuck it. The person, you know who I feel bad for? I feel bad for Carter for having to save our ass from that situation. I feel bad for Sam's mother. Because the only thing she said was, oh my.
Yes.
Oh my. That's who I feel bad for. I don't feel bad for these four. Y'all all suck.
Oh.
Oh my god. So, of course, photographers are there. They're taking photos. The whole room erupts into chaos. It's basically, if you've ever seen Game of Thrones, it's basically the Nanny Affair's version of the Red Wedding. Like, it's bad. It's real fucking bad. And then Carter finds Anna and takes her home. So the next morning, Anna will go ahead and buy her plane ticket back home. She writes a letter for Sam and moves to leave before getting caught by the boys. There was a diamond scene to have a goodbye breakfast for them. Did you take this?
Here's the thing. I normally would say fuck them kids, but I really did take this scene. I did.
I said fuck them kids. I really did. I literally wrote, I'm going to read to you verbatim what I wrote in the notes. I said, to be honest with you, this has got to be the least interesting part of this chapter, so I'm not even going to bother going over it.
It is. It really is, because all they do is make breakfast. That's really it.
All they do is make breakfast, and then Anna's like, they're like, oh, why are you leaving? She's like, it's because of your dad. And the twins are like, we know. I'm like, okay, cool. So all this whole, like, childhood trauma about y'all, like, oh, everyone abandons me, we just erased that. We just threw that out to the fucking wind because now y'all, all of a sudden, y'all are mature enough to know that it's not about you.
Right.
You just completely undid all of the character development you did for the twins in one fucking scene. Pixelberry.
Make it make sense.
Come on.
And they should know. We trying to fuck underwater. Like, they should.
Oh, Anna and Daddy, you both held your breath for a really long time.
And not to mention, the start of the diamond scene was, oh, we were sneaking around to try to get more food. Imagine how many times they did that. We over here, like, making Sam's
Absolutely.
Like,
it's just completely ridiculous because they had these scenes where they tried to make it seem like the boys, like, obviously, even if the boys didn't know about the affair and everything, it's pretty obvious that, like, Anna and Sam are pretty warm to each other. But they really try to make it be like, oh, Anna, why are your cheeks flushed?
Right.
I don't understand. And then now they're trying to pull the whole oh, don't worry, we know it's not about us. We know it's because Dad's messy. I'm like, come on now. This is getting ridiculous. So Anna will arrive at the airport, and just as the plane is boarding, will be intercepted by both Sam and the boys. Sam will reveal that they walked out of the wedding, literally leaving Sofia at the altar. Mickey will offer to tell the story of how Sam walked out on the wedding, and of course, it's the diamond scene. Did you take it?
I did, and I was like, "Fuck, this is a waste too," because it wasn't giving what I thought it was gonna give. It just really wasn't. It really wasn't giving what I thought it was gonna give.
I thought it was fun, but like after all the disappointments of the rest of the last chapters of the book, it didn't. It just fell flat to me, to be honest. Like,
very flat. It
was one of the better scenes, but because it was just like surrounded by so much other shit I didn't give a fuck about, like I was just like, okay, cool. So Mickey, during the diamond scene, will retell about how Sam and Sofia were arguing before the wedding, and Sam warns Sofia that they're not sure if they can go through with the actual wedding before it becomes public. So Sam is trying to be like the quote-unquote good person in the situation. Trying to reason with Sofia, like, please, I'm telling you I can't do this. Sofia will get angry and will yell in front of everyone that Sam wants to leave her at the altar, and then even yells at Mickey. And this pretty much becomes the last straw for Sam, because Sam admits that Sofia doesn't fit into their family. So after finishing that diamond scene, Anna and Sam will decide to finally be together. There's a sex scene. We're not going to talk about it. I don't care at this point.
The fact that there has been a sex scene in every fucking chapter these past couple chapters, it's just
I can't believe it.
It takes the hype.
Anna almost fucking died, and he still played with her clit. In a wheelchair, no less. Sometimes you forget how bad things are, and then you replay them, and then you remember. And
here's the thing. It's definitely like you have to hate to love this book.
Yeah.
And one thing that really kills me, and I'm going to say it, and it's just going to be so factual that I can't breathe.
Okay.
Absolutely no character development. Bitch, absolutely. Why in chapter...
Not at all. Not at all. Not at all.
Why in the beginning chapters... Sofia's brother and dad was like, yeah, she just get mad about stuff and like make a scene no matter where she go. And I'm like, damn, but you really made a scene every fucking where we went. Like, you made a scene.
Yep. I guess, like, if I had to stretch to find something, like, okay, cool, Sam learned how to love again. But do I believe it's love? No. And to be honest, it's really all... I don't even think that's real character development, because here's what basically Sam did. Sam basically was finally a responsible adult for the first time in fucking years.
Yes.
And then guess what? Finds some pussy and goes, never mind.
Yep.
Back to their old ways.
The twins had more character development. At least they stopped pranking as much, you know.
And then they undid it all in the final diamond scene with them.
You're right. Because I sure did just know.
Anna, are you leaving us? Are you? Oh my God! This always happens. Every nanny leaves us, but then they just went, "No, we good." Girl, have a safe flight.
No, literally.
Pretty much. They just undid every ounce of character development just to force these two characters together.
It's so crazy how this story is 20 chapters.
I can't believe it. I honestly feel like there's a good pacing. By the time we get to chapter, like, I would say 17-ish, just when I stopped caring.
Yes, I'm like,
17 was when I was like, this has gone on for too long.
Yep.
It's gone on for we could have ended this. So I don't, like...
Yeah, we were broken up for like half a chapter. Like, what?
Yeah. And then, like, they break up on the airplane, and then there's a scene to make out with Sam in the fucking vineyard.
It's too much. No character development, like, at all.
Really, the villains are the people that save the story. Can I say that?
Mm-hmm.
Sofia and Robin save the story. It's pretty much just the two of them acting like fucking assholes that makes this entertaining. Because other than that, it's just sad. Like, there's really no one to root for. There's no character development. The boys are just a plot device for Anna to get her pussy licked.
It's so crazy because the Nanny Affair 2, it gotta be better than this first one. Get the fuck out, you lying. Stay tuned to find out on Play Choices Podcast.
Oh, bitch. listen, here's the thing. I've only read up to chapter 3. Like, I'm not one of those people that, like, read the chapter the day it comes out and type of shit, because I have to make episode notes. There's other things that I, like, have to do.
Mm-hmm.
I don't purely read Choices books for pleasure anymore. This podcast has ruined it for me. It's all business here.
Right.
But, like, oh.
Oh, God.
It's messy.
Listen, I would rather take on Sofia than all of fucking New York society. Like, damn. Like, no. Oh, I can't wait. I can't wait. I can't wait. You know we love to drag a book at the beginning.
And you know that whole rule of like, oh, well, V doesn't judge books at the beginning. No, bitch. The plot has been established. The atmosphere has been established. We know the characters. Yep. I'm going to judge the fuck out of book 2.
Yep.
Alright, before we move on to the rest of the chapter, let me interrupt to plug our socials. We are at playchoicespodcast on Instagram and at playchoicespod on Twitter. You can also go to playchoicespodcast.tumblr.com for our Tumblr page, which is where I post any episode notes that I have, like links to posts that I've mentioned, photos I've mentioned, or more. We're also available for listening on all major platforms, so if you're listening on Apple Podcasts, please rate, review, and subscribe. It's a funky thing with the algorithm that helps us a lot. I wish I could explain it more in depth, but I just know that it helps us, so we do appreciate any reviews that you leave us. And as always, we are a growing podcast, so if you see us pop up on your socials, we do appreciate a share, a retweet, or a reblog, depending on the platform you see us on. We also appreciate it when you share our podcast with your fellow Choices-loving friends. And now, back to the episode. Oh, so it's time to do, for book 1, our last rapid impressions. Rapid fire impressions. Short, first thing off the dome. Let's start with Anna.
Ho.
Sam.
Lion ho.
Yep.
Like, inconsistent.
Can we just go ahead and say Anna, Sam, Sofia, and Robin are all lion hoes? Can we just say that? They
all lion ho. Well, Robin was gonna get a hypocrite ho. The death.
Hypocrite ho. Okay. So we just have ho, lion ho. Who's Sofia?
She dramatic ho.
Yep, dramatic ho. And then the boys.
Just kid hoes. You know, just kid ho out here. Here's the thing. I think the definition, right, like of a hoe.
Okay.
One definition, right, is like to have sex with multiple people. But that's not how we're describing the hoe.
No.
Our hoe term is like manipulative bitch. Like that, you know, like, and the kids is just as bad because they out here, first of all, apparently knowing everything, right? And then secondly, does this whole sob story to be like basically pushing me on the fucking plane. I feel like the kids was just using me to get their dad back so we could have like a family.
That's just making the 7-year-olds villains.
Did we think about that? Because they also was a little bit too okay accepting Sofia if it meant that they would have a family again.
Oh.
Everybody about to catch hands in this damn book, yeah.
Listen, Mickey and Mason? Canceled. They're toxic. They're problematic. End their careers now. If I catch you following them on Twitter, it's over for you, bitch.
It's over. We about to send our bodyguards to handle them right now because like
the service gotta come handle your ass, bitch.
I'm really thinking about it. And I'm like, damn, like no matter what, they would have something to gain. The boys. Damn.
They the real winners here.
They are.
They're the real winners here. Wow. I never thought about it like that, but you might be correct. You might be correct. So let's do our last bingo for the Nanny Affair Book 1. We don't have that many squares, so we're just going to start off with the last unmarked box that we had. So the first one, MC will demand more money / benefits to keep the affair secret. I think that we can safely say.
Yep. That's never going to happen.
Okay, I thought you said yes, that happened. I said, what scene did you put on? I was like, what?
I could feel like the stillness, and I was like, I gotta add more because.
Next box is the media will find out about the affair and make it a big deal.
I mean,
The photographer took photos and stuff, but I don't know if it was really made into a big deal.
Wasn't he getting
No,
tabloid
he
headlines?
was. He
Yeah,
was. Sam was getting attacked, so yeah, rightfully so.
rightfully so.
Um, rightfully so. So let me go ahead and mark that because you are correct that he was indeed getting. He was. You know what? Sam was trending on Twitter. That's what happened
Yeah, yeah.
at the end of
His
the book.
cancel party was happening.
Yeah, Sam Dalton is canceled. Or no, Sam Dalton is over party.
Yes, yes.
Bitch, that's the title of the episode.
I love it. I love it.
Oh, the children are walking on and seeing their parent banging. That never happened.
No.
Thank Christ that never happened. All right, and then the last one is MC and her boss will bang in a common area of the house. So I'm gonna get you in a technicality here. On the final scene where they fuck in
Right.
their new suite, they fuck on the couch.
Right.
Can we mark that?
We can, because that is a very common area on the couch.
That's a very common area. Just do it. I mean, Carter could have walked in and seen her pussy spread wide open.
As far as I'm concerned, that damn wheelchair is a common area.
Oh, I mean, they were in a garden. They were in a garden. I don't care how many times Sam tries to be like, "Oh no, it was like a protected area. No one could go." It's not private, bitch.
It's not.
It's not private. Stop trying to convince me that it is, because you a whole liar. You have 3 bingos.
Hey, hey.
Oh,
That's the only thing that came from this fucking story. 3 bingos, some lying children, and a bunch of hoes. That's all we have here.
some lying children. I can't believe you found a way to drag Mason and Mickey into this. I can't believe it. I should have known. I should have known everyone was going to get a red mark by the end of it, but I just could not have predicted how you would have twisted that. During the bonus episode we recorded for the August Choices Insiders, you were like, "Oh, please, a book 3." Do you still want a book 3?
I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. First of all, I didn't think this book was going to end the way it ended. It was very, very, very painfully anticlimactic. Like,
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know what it is. There's something about, like, not to say that to me there are very few chapters in this book that were good, you know? I just feel like there are some writers that just really struggle with endings, and I think this is one where it felt like a little bit of a struggle.
yes, absolutely. It was
And
giving
I
me
think,
whiplash.
yeah, yeah, because Sam don't want it, then Sam wants it, and Anna doesn't want it, then Sam still wants it, and then Anna finally decides that she wants it, and it's just,
Here's the thing. That conversation with them dancing before she ran into the bathroom, that should have never happened.
no.
And she should have just, why couldn't she just have to go to the bathroom?
Why couldn't she just say no? Why do you have to dance with Sam at the party?
Like, yeah, literally why? Like, it
And
was
then the
just
whole
so
thing,
weird.
like the entire conversation was just for her to resign. But like, if you really should have resigned when you first told Sam that you don't want to get together,
Exactly.
that's when you could have resigned. Because how the fuck could you realistically stay there and still do your job after turning your boss down like that when y'all were like quote unquote in love?
Right. Right.
Anyways, you have any final words you want to say for book 1?
No. No. I'm just disappointed. My hopes for this book was going up a little bit, and then
Mhm.
17 through 20 just really just like destroyed it. And I
Mhm.
said, okay.
Mhm.
I said, all
Mhm.
right.
No, I understand. I understand.
Maybe
And
the Nanny Affair has this trend where it's like the first 3 chapters and the last 3 chapters are shit.
are bad. Yeah.
Maybe that's why it needs 20 chapters.
Oh my god. Maybe. I mean, I haven't played ahead of chapter 3, so I really can't speak on it. I mean, I was gonna say something, but I don't want to spoil. I don't want to spoil it. I will not say that I hate the Nanny Affair book 2. I don't dislike it, but I think it's on. It's very obvious from chapter 1 that it's on the same bullshit it was on book 1,
I'm
which
tired.
in certain ways is fun because we enjoyed it at certain points, and in certain ways it's disappointing because we hated it at certain points. You know,
Right.
it's real hot and cold.
Right.
You never know what you're going to get in a chapter. But, all right, y'all. I mean, let's at least celebrate. Let's clap it out for us finishing our first book. It only took us 7 months, but we're here. But all right, thank everybody for listening. And we'll start the name for book 2 at some point.
Yep.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.